Paper and Glam family. We have made it to November, and you know what that means. It is time for us to start working on our 2026 planner setup. So that is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna rock it OG vibes, and I can't wait to show you how I am getting ready for 2026, the new releases that I have for you. And so we'll get right to it. And then after, we will chit chat a little bit and talk about planners and just all the other glammy things. Okay, sisters, let's do this. Glam 2026, here we come. So today I'm going to be working with the God and Glam Bible study. That is going to be my personal Bible study setup for 2026. And then also building out my seasonal living planner, which is here. And I'm going to be using the 2026 seasonal living lists and then these dividers. So I already have some dividers that I have been rocking with for about 5 years. So mine are very, very well loved. Oh my gosh, I guess it's been 6 years. So they're still holding up really well. But when you order them, this is the beautiful package that you will receive. And just note that they have gold foil on both sides. So beautiful. So when you flip your planner over, you still have the beautiful gold foil right like this. And I just love that. Something signature about Paper and Glam. Okay, so let's talk seasonal living lists. So if you are new, these are a list for every month that has been curated so you can make beautiful seasonal memories and really at the end of the month come to it knowing you soaked up every minute of the season. These make perfect stocking stuffers. They come in physical and digital, just like all things Paper and Glam. So I'm rocking the 2025 version here. If you do want 2025, I just put it on sale for 50% off. So what I like to do is kind of compare how I did with my seasonal living like this November 2025 versus the previous year. And I just like to be making more and more space for these beautiful seasonal moments because what else is life about, right? Okay, so let's open these. Okay, so here we have January, February, beautiful holy original art on every month, and we have the date down here. So this is what they look like, what the pack will look like when it arrives home to you. And I'm going to be punching these and putting them into my binder. So I'm all ready to go. And how I use these is at the end of the month, I like to do a coffee shop date, and I just call it my monthly growth ceremony. And I actually host a live one for members of the Paper and Glam experience. So I'd love for you to join us. And I review the previous month and then I plan the next month. So like at the end of December, as an example, I would sit down and figure out what I loved about the previous month, what I want to continue, and then start planning the moments that I want to experience in the upcoming month. So I'll sit down and plan my seasonal living, of course, look at my goals and just see what I need to plan into my month alongside just the things that we typically aren't going to forget, like the work deadlines or the bills and all of that stuff. Because as we know, if you're not careful, you'll come to the end of the month and it's like all you've done is like work and kind of keep the wheels on the bus, you know? Okay, let me show you the Bible study before we go ahead and 6-hole punch both of these. So the Bible study is something I've been releasing and reading since 2015, 2016, so a long time. It's had a long run. I changed it up this year and made it totally evergreen. So it loosely follows the liturgical year, or what you might hear called the Christian year. So these are the ancient readings that go back to the beginning of the church, actually before that, because the Jews actually started using a reading plan during the Babylonian exile to keep their faith alive and keep their community together while they were separated. So we continued that as Christians, of course, adding the New Testament readings, and it rotates on a 3-year cycle. And I essentially consolidated it so that it was on a 1-year cycle, making it a little bit more manageable and then also totally evergreen. So how it's designed is that every week has a growth theme. So when you get your Bible study, you can do the prepare section at just getting our hearts and minds aligned with God's heart and mind, ready to study the word. Then we have different themes throughout the year. So we have Advent, Christmas, the Epiphany season, And then we get into spring. So it is also divided up by seasons. So everything is seasonal here at P&G. And then we have the readings for Ash Wednesday, Lent, Easter, and then we have summer. And summer, we get into what's called ordinary time. So we have growth themes for each week. So you can use it, just follow it through. Or if there's something that you're particularly praying into or working on, say you want some verses for finding a godly community, or maybe you're working through a persecution, I hope not, or you need some endurance or some freedom. You can also use it, just like a Bible study prescription. There are more weeks in this reading plan than there are weeks of the year by design, because how the church year works, it actually runs off the lunar calendar. So there are seasons, or there are years, I should say, where the Epiphany season is longer. And then there's years when the ordinary season or ordinary time season is longer. So it accounts for that. So you'll see it just keeps going. Here's hospitality, body, generosity. Then we have the fall, and the fall season just keeps going. And of course, it's in the P&G monthly colors, so it will match your dividers perfectly. So you have like the September colors, the October colors, and then it finishes up here. And we have the traditional ending, which is Thanksgiving, and then Reign of Christ Sunday. So that is the setup. I can show you how I use it as well at the end of the video, but let's go ahead and get our Bible study binder and seasonal living binder set up. Okay, now we have the fun of putting all of these together. So I'll start with November, since that's where we are in the year. I haven't started filling out my November list yet, since November just started. Okay, and then we'll go to December. So we'll put December 2026 behind 2025 here. And if you guys like this binder, I got it for, I think it was like $10 on Amazon. I'll link it for you. And now we get to 2025. Look how fun it is to see all of the seasonal living that you did 1 year later. So I did pretty good in January of 2025. So we'll go ahead and put January on top here and flip ahead to February. Same thing. I did pretty good with February, if I do say so myself, other than the fact that I was using an aging Sharpie and it got the best of me. All right, now we have March. And I just love how the dividers match perfectly. It's just all the 100% that girl energy, On to April. April, pretty good. And then I also get a pack of Sharpies, because they have, the thinner Sharpies, because they have all of the seasonal colors for the most part, all the monthly colors. So if you are new to the Glam fam, everything is monthly color coded. So they didn't have a May blue. That's the only thing. So I made do with the same kind of P&G pink color. On to June. Same with June. No June pink, so I just used yellow. We'll put this right in the front. And I just love that I have these for every year going back to 2015, which was the very first version. So this is the, 13th version? No, I can't do math, y'all. This is maybe the 11th version. So we have July here. Also pretty good with the seasonal living. August. And there's that. September. September matches perfectly. I love a September teal. Got September dialed in. And then October. October I'm a little behind on, but we have our growth ceremony coming up. So I will go through and fill that out before we meet. It's a great accountability. I had kind of a crazy October. I know I'm not the only one. It seemed like it was such a hinge point. So there we have the seasonal living binder locked and loaded for 2026. If you want to see a video on how I use this binder in detail, if you go back a couple videos on the channel, it's called Organize Your Entire Life, and I go through how this binder serves me all year. And now she's ready to rock for the brand new month of November and for the brand new year. Okay, now we're on to setting up for Bible study. So this is the Bible study binder I have been using since the original release of God and Glam reading plan. And the last one I did and had printed was 2020. So this is a brand new update. You can see how it stays true to the OG, but has new era vibes. So I just put it in, whoopsie, that binder clip was serious. All right, so I just put it in right like that, and then it just flips like a book. These binders I don't think they make anymore, but you know, I love me a half letter A5 binder. So you see it just will look right like that in your little planner. Of course, you can use the same binder if you would like. Mine's pretty full because I have so many different things in here. So I like 2 different binders, but if you like more of a chunky binder setup, then of course one will do you just fine. But let me show you how this functions for my morning Bible study. So I just use this little clip to mark my spot, and I have been using the 2020 version because we are just finishing up the year. So last week I read the stewardship readings, and I just like to again fill in the reading with just color in the little box with my Sharpie pen, and then I just like to date when I read each reading, and then I'll show you how I do my Bible study as well. So I'll read the passage. So we'll go to Psalm 115 as an example. Okay, so Psalm 119, or excuse me, 115. So these are notes I made about a year ago, so August 16th, 2024. And then I see that these yellow notes, so I use P&G washi, which is also in the shop. So I know that I have washi down the side here, so I know that that corresponds to this note here. And if I'm making a lot of notes at once and I have a lot of time for study, sometimes I'll print them on sticker paper because it's quicker than writing it out. But if I'm just doing my regular morning study, then I will just do that in my own handwriting. And it looks like, so here I didn't have any really new thoughts as I was reading Psalm 115. So I just highlighted it and dated it, but I did have a lot of personal reflection thoughts. So this lets me know that there is an entry about this psalm in my journal. So I don't put personal notes in my Bible because I just like it to focus it on notes and things that I learned specifically as I went through the word, and then anything personal that I want to note where I felt like the Lord really spoke to me individually, I put in my journal. So I know if there's a date here that on this side, I know that that is just the date that I took the note. If there is a date on this side, then I know that to check that journal for that date. All right, you guys ready for more Type Awesome Bible study? Okay, let's keep moving. Let's see, Ezekiel 34. So I read that on the 29th. So let's turn to Ezekiel and see what I got up to. Okay, here's some notes from the Year of the Bride fast. Ezekiel 34. Okay, more notes from Year of the Bride. So I like to highlight and then make notes in the same color. So that way when I have more and more notes, I know what corresponds to what. So here we have stewardship, notes on stewardship. And again, these are Bible study notes, but there's also more in my journal specific to this line. I will feed them in justice. So these are just quick little notes that I read. I love using the arrows for Bible study. Those are in the shop. They come in all 12 monthly colors. The other thing you can do is get the 12 pack of Bible study stickers or planner stickers, journal stickers, however you want to use them, and put them in with your binder as well. I also have a sticker organization video. Put them in with your Bible study. I love that there's a lot of these half letter binders that are just really simple and have pockets. So I love to coordinate everything with the monthly colors. So I was using October stickers here. On the arrows, I just like to write what the theme is of the note or what the theme is of the week, usually one and the same. In colored pen, I do quotations. And then in black pen, these are my own personal thoughts on the passage. That way I can differentiate. All right, there's more fun sticker stuff, I'm sure. So Matthew 25. Oh my gosh, this is one of my all-time favorite readings. Matthew 25. Okay, this was, so something else that I'll do, like I'll put a little washi, a washi sticker from the Glam office line, and then put the matching washi here. So I know this corresponds to this. And everything, some things are sold out. Nothing that I'm telling you about right now. Washi, basics, God and Glam stickers just sold out, but everything is available in digital. So everything that is available that I'm mentioning, I will link down below. Okay, I got distracted. Back to the task at hand. Okay. So more Bible study. So here, same thing. I have a little note here that corresponds to this verse. So I know that that is there. Again, more arrows. And I'll show you guys just a couple more. So Luke 12. Luke 12 was actually the verse that I was thinking of because I know I have a ton of notes in here. So I went wild with my notes here, well, more than usual. And I realized my writing was like slanting down. So then I ended up making myself a little guide. So I'll show you that. This is just what I did this morning. So I made this little guide so that I could write on it and see it and not slant down. So this is one that I did this morning. This is a verse on the Sabbath. Well, this is the 10 Commandments, but my notes relate to the Sabbath. And then this verse, proclaim liberty throughout the land to all inhabitants. That's actually on the Liberty Bell. So I put a little heart flag sticker from the November collection. And that's just a kind of mental note for myself that I want to go back and study more about the Liberty Bell. I have a Bible called the Founder's Bible that goes through all of our Christian founding and has actual letters from the founding fathers. And I just think that's endlessly fascinating. I am a giant history nerd. So didn't get to kind of more study than that this morning, but I love how manageable this study is because it's just shorter readings every morning, but they're very impactful. And so even if you only have 10, 15 minutes, it's plenty of time to get into the word and get, your head and your heart around a particular truth. So let's see. Should we do one more just for fun? Okay, let's do 1 Peter 4, 7 through 11. This is a really wonderful chapter on stewardship. Okay, so right here, more notes. So yeah, that is how I use the God and Glam Bible study. Here we have the Glam basics that I am using, and these come in pattern, they come in solids, and then they also come in glitter if you're a glitter girl. So all of those are in stock and shipping. They can come home to you with your seasonal living lists and your Bible study. So that is how I have my Bible study binder set up. That is how I have my seasonal living binder set up. And that, my sweet friends, is the beginning of Planner Stack 2026. All right, I hope this got you hyped for all things becoming the woman you want to be in this next year. I am so excited to send home your seasonal living list, your God and Glam reading plans, and I have a few fun announcements for you. So first, shout out to Christy, who asked about the planner I have in progress in the Facebook group. So let me tell you how planner things shook out. So I have 2 planners in progress. The first one is a lifestyle planner. It's a daily planner that helps you build your lifestyle. That one is a very time-intensive operation. I didn't get as far as I wanted to this year. So for that one, we're looking at a 2027 release. So I'll keep you updated on how it's going. It'll need to be to production in like June, and that will be here before we know it. But I have another planner that is coming. It is just about to go to production, and it is a memory planner. So a planner to hold your memories. It's old school P&G style, and I hope to have that to show you guys in maybe a few weeks. We shall see. It's, as most things do, taken me a little longer than I thought it would, and this is also my first production run for planners in 6 years. So I am, getting the dust off, remembering how to design and kind of get into that whole process again. So this is kind of going to be a prototype. I just ordered a really small quantity because I just want to make sure that I nail it. And so if you are looking for the perfect memory planner for next year, I am your girl. Hold tight. And yeah, hopefully I'll have that just show you sooner rather than later. It will definitely arrive home to you in plenty of time for the new year. And then last, I have a membership sale going on. So right now you can join the Paper and Glam experience at founding member rates. So it is $1,000 for the whole year, which works out to the monthly founding member rate from when I started the Paper and Glam experience. So you get access to all of the seasonal living videos, all of the vlogs, the home tours, the book club, the Bible study, plus the fun little clubhouse chats we do. So it's all of the live content every month, plus the entire library. So if you're like me and you're in a season where it's like we are in these dark winter nights now, it's dark at 5, and I don't want to spend my nights doom scrolling or just kind of filling the time. I really want to spend that time becoming the woman that God created me to be. And I want to have something to show for my life for every season. One thing that's really cool that I love, you guys, is have you seen this trend on TikTok that it's called curriculum talk? And it's basically your own personal curriculum for like what you're doing for that season or that month. And I love that. That is so Paper and Glam. And that is why I created the Clubhouse, so that we could go through our own little personal glam curriculum together, because everything is better in community. So we study the word together, we read together, we live seasonally together, and day by day we become more of who God created us to be. So everything is better in community, and I would love to see you in the Clubhouse. So that sale will be going through the end of the month, so jump in, and I can't wait to see you on a live stream. So with that, I can't wait to hear how you're getting set up for 2026. Let me know. Let me know how you guys are doing. I love seeing all of your emails, and thank you to those of you who checked on me. And yeah, until next time, sweet friends, I love you guys. Happy planning. Goodbye and God bless.